The Mandela effect is perhaps one of the most shocking, overwhelming, and most confounding certainties that can penetrate the human mind so harshly that it can cause a small awakening within an individual or cause one to denounce such wild theories and use the confabulation argument via Wikipedia on every single effect, despite the growing mass of evidence that something is clearly altering recorded history. For many of us, the Mandela effect has had a profound influence in our lives since discovering it. Life was, for lack of a better term, normal before the Mandela effect. But after coming in contact with it, it has caused many of us, myself included, to question my own beliefs on how this universe functions and my role in it. The Mandela effect has the strike of 1,000 tons of dynamite on the human psyche, but nothing in comparison to what I am about to talk to you here tonight. This is a rabbit hole, and it goes deep. Though there is no set-in-stone reason as to why the Mandela effect is happening and why we are just beginning to notice these absurd changes, many thoughts have risen to the table, including the thought that perhaps we are living in a computer-generated simulation and do not realize it yet. At first, that thought sounds outlandish. On the other hand, if the Mandela effect proves us anything, it shows that life is not what we once thought it was, and we still don't have all the answers of how this universe truly works. With that being said, I'm going to offer my take on the Mandela effect in relation to the simulated universe, but by no means do I know the truth. My gateway into all this is that I have experimented with the most powerful hallucinogen known to man, DMT, in its most purest form. The scientific name of DMT is called dimethyltryptamine. This substance is a natural occurring neurotransmitter that is produced inside the human brain and in certain DMT containing plants. It has been referred to some as the spirit molecule and the ultimate convincer. Once inhaled, you are suddenly skyrocketed into another dimension that is teeming with other forms of intelligent life. The experience is like having 1,000 déjà vus all at once. You always knew that there was more to life, and now you have your personal proof of it. It's named the ultimate convincer by some for that very same reason. Now, how this ties into the Mandela effect and a computer simulation is this. Upon reaching the height of a DMT experience, known as breaking through, there is a set of layers one must pass in order to get a glimpse of the other side. The first thing many people notice, myself included, is hearing a very distinct hum sound that rapidly escalates to a high-pitched frequency, followed by the crackling of white noise seconds before reaching hyperspace. It is very much like tuning into a different channel. These sounds, which sound electronic, denotes, in my opinion, your brainwaves adapting to this new kind of world. Through my experiences on DMT, my experience feels like I am inside a motherboard, a digital electronic world where you create instantly by thought. The internet carrier signal to that dimension is the DMT molecule. Molecules including subatomic molecules, DNA, electrons, particles, superstrings, photon, etc., the same ingredients that make you and the world around us, seen and unseen, are computer codes. Codes as in binary codes, ones and zeros, ons and offs, true and falses. What's stunning to some is that theoretical physicist James Gates has found computer codes written in the mathematical equations of supersymmetry. Specifically, these are the same kinds of codes that you'll find in popular web browsers and in search engines. They don't just resemble computer code, they are literally computer code. This is what's called an Adinkra symbol. It is a graphical representation of the sets of equations that are based on codes. I can tell you this, that if that's an equation, I've surely seen many of them in my days of research. If you can accept the possibility that we inhabit a computer-simulated program like the Matrix, then that opens the doors for the possibility of software glitches that can be noticed. Not only that, but if everything is computer code at its fundamental core, then can it be hacked or altered? Though I am not 100% certain, I feel the folks working at CERN using quantum computers may have discovered instructional command lines of how to read, retrieve, copy, and alter reality from the quantum level up. It has always been life is like a box of chocolates. It has always been Luke, I am your father. It has always been mirror, mirror on the wall. How do you change these, in my opinion? You change a line by finding that string of digits within the matrix. Those unique keywords are units of numbers that get broken down into ones and zeros. If you can access the original substrate of the specific series of digits in that given location of space and time, then you can alter it from the quantum world up, giving us magic-like effects. The code line for life is like a box of chocolates is written somewhere in our matrix. You would need to first find the memory address. My guess is by searching the quantum field in between August 1993 through December 1993 during the filming of Forrest Gump. You would then need to isolate the latitude-longitude of the physical address location, in this case, Chippewa Square, Savannah, Georgia. Life is like a box of chocolates theoretically would be stored in several formats. First, in magnetic, digital, or sound format, and the second is all the living souls who watched the original film from July 6, 1994 to up until recent times, because we have memory addresses like a computer. Think about this. What do computer chips and transistors do with electricity? They break down electricity, energy and light, into ons and offs, ones and zeros. In a sense, you are playing with units of light that originates from electricity. When you think of what color is, you automatically know that it comes from the electromagnetic spectrum. The canvas for light, for us to interpret with our eyes, is the conventional computer screen, but also any given point in the entire universe because each pixel contains the whole. This is where quantum computers comes in. In classical computers, bits are always either 1 or 0, on or off, true or false. In quantum computers, qubits, quantum bits, can be a 1 and a 0, on or off, true or false at the same time, commonly referred to as superposition until it is measured or observed. The other unique part of quantum computers is that they use quantum entanglement. This is where particles, no matter what the distance may be, trillions of light years apart, can have an effect on each other. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. The CERN Large Hadron Collider, the D-Wave quantum computer, and the void, ether, dark matter, you can call it the fifth element, all operate near or around the temperature of absolute zero, minus 270 degrees Celsius. Is absolute zero the substrate temperature building base of the universe? Another question might be, is absolute zero required to manipulate light on up to be seen in the physical? What many people are not aware of is the history of how binary computer code came about. Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz first discovered binary code through the works of the I Ching, an ancient Chinese manual of divination. He was fascinated how the hexagrams of the I Ching corresponded to binary numbers 0 to 6 ones. Coincidentally or not, there are 64 hexagrams in the I Ching, and there are 64 codons in the Universal Genetic Code. All DNA codons, for example GCC, can be reduced down to sequences of binary digits. Remember how the Adinkra represents a graphical representation of computer codes? Just look how the I Ching is mapped on paper. I personally believe that the I Ching is a software decoding device of this matrix. And again, look how prominent sacred geometry keeps creeping up. Are we staring in the face of computer codes? Look at the flower of life. You get all of the 5 Plutonic codes. All language, all letters, all math, all geometry, all light, all physical objects can be broken down into binary digits. Remember, in the quantum world, yes and no, true and false, 1 or 0, yin or yang, positive or negative, exist at the same time only until it is observed. This brings me full circle to the Mandela effect and if we are living in a computer simulated reality. In a computer simulation, the Mandela effect can be explained by the use of quantum computers rearranging light and matter. When you can make these changes from the quantum world up, and if you can make a lot of these changes in other universes, you can affect this universe. Some of these Mandela effect changes look and sound ridiculous. It makes me wonder, who is the observer causing this? He, probably a he, is terrible at making things look and sound right. But herein lies the great revelation of my story. With all the doom and gloom talk of how powerful CERN or quantum computers may be, the next logical question may come up that if they can alter our past, change our moving lines, change corporate logos, change physical and biological matter, then what chances do we have? Humanity is just doomed. I believe that if this is a simulation, the programmer must have placed a rule in the program not to change everything all at once. It's too drastic. But say the rule can be broken. Say it can be hacked. This is where the observer effect comes into play at its strongest. In a sense, you may have a built-in protection program against such circumstances. No matter what gloom and doom scenario is out there, you have that much power you won't allow for it to run in your program. Remember, you already have the quantum computer built within the physical makeup of your biology. You are tapped in and able to make changes or stop changes like a quantum computer because just like a computer requires electricity to run off of, you are getting your electricity from the atoms, from the oxygen, from the act of breathing. Your heart and mind too are both powerful electronic units that create reality, much like the way computer processors create graphics on a screen. The changes you make are holographic. If I am broadcasting my mind from the future, then I'm willing to bet the Mandela effect is a gentle way of waking people up to the reality that we are living in a simulation. Keep in mind that perhaps some government programs, notice they are called programs, do their best to shape our belief system. It is my opinion that beliefs physically change our reality from the quantum world up to the physically seen. In conclusion, I don't question whether or not we live in a computer simulation. I already know we do. I am my own confirmation of this. There is no one outside of myself that I need to seek for the confirmation of this other than my own life experiences.